With Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus all coming out later this year and early next year, I decided now was a perfect time to replay the old Sinnoh games to prepare for the new ones. I thought it would be a great idea to bring you, the viewers, along for the ride too. Before the video begins, I would like to mention that any kind of help would be greatly appreciated, so consider hitting the like and subscribe button if you would like to see more content in the near future. With this said, I had a wonderful time making this video, and I hope all of you enjoy the Sinnoh experience. The game begins with an old man who claims to be Pokemon Professor Rowan. He introduces me to his Baniri, then asks if I'm a boy or a girl. I decide to throw him a curveball, so I selected the female protagonist, then named myself Dawn. Yes, just like Ash's female companion in the anime. Next, he wanted the name of my friend, who I also stayed original with, and chose Barry. With all that said, my journey finally begins. Before being able to leave my room, Barry interrupts my Saturday morning cartoons to let me know that he wants to go to Professor Rowan's lab to ask him for a Pokemon. Before being able to say anything, he threatens to give me a $10 million late fine, then leaves. On my way out the door, I am stopped by my loving mother, who tells me not to go into the tall grass. This definitely won't be of any importance to me in the near future. I make it to Barry's house just for him to use Headbutt on me and run back inside. I follow him in to watch him gather his belongings, threaten me with another fine, and sprint out the door. I meet up with Barry, and he quickly explains that the lab is just past the tall grass. Barry runs towards the grass and is stopped by Professor Rowan. We get scolded, and then after a half-hearted apology, the professor decides to give us a Pokemon. Staying loyal to one of my favorite starters, Piplup, I choose it in a hurry. The professor leaves, and Barry quickly asks me for a battle that ends up just being a bunch of pounds and withdrawals. After defeating Barry's Turtwig, we head back home. I show my mom my new toy, and she gives me the best gift in the world. My journey continues as I make my way to Professor Rowan's lab before being, once again, interrupted by Barry, who already wants to catch a legendary. So we head over to Lake Verity to attempt an early legendary catch, but walk in on a strange guy reciting poetry out into the lake. He leaves, so do I, as Barry was dumb and forgot we needed Pokeballs to catch a Pokemon. Once I finally arrive in Sandgem Town, Lucas greets us at the door of the Pokemon lab, and we head inside. Inside, Professor Rowan allows me to nickname my Piplup, so I named it Bubbles in honor of my first ever water-type starter. The professor then gives me this cool device that he wants me to use throughout the region to collect information on all kinds of Pokemon. I then learned that Bubbles was bashful, and I thought that was extremely cute. Moving on. After meeting up with the professor, I was told to go tell my mom about the journey I was going on. Following my arrival, my mom got super jealous of my journey. We began to have a heart-to-heart mother-daughter moment when we got interrupted by Barry's mother. It must run in the family. Instead of fining me, she gave me some things that Barry left behind, and I was tasked with delivering it to him. The next stop is Jubilife City. However, I decided to grab some Pokeballs for the route leading up to it. After taking my first steps onto Route 202, Lucas was there to teach me how to catch a Pokemon. Little does he know I've been doing this for what seems like my whole life. After the obnoxiously long tutorial, I stumbled against a fellow trainer who wanted to battle. I accepted the challenge and ended his dreams of becoming a Pokemon master. I did the same thing to his two friends down the route. After the battles, I decided to try to catch my new friend, and came across a Shinx. I lowered its health and threw a ball at its skull. Excited about getting a new friend, I anticipated the catch, however Shinx had other plans, so I put it down. Once again, Lucas was there to greet me at the steps of Jubilife City. He showed me the local trainer school, and we stumbled amongst a man who turned out to be a spy for the international police. He goes by Mr. Looker, and before I knew it, he was gone. I went into the school looking for Barry, who was, to my surprise, studying. I delivered his things, got a town map, then he left. I ended the dreams of two more children, and went to catch a Pokemon. To my surprise, I found a level 4 Starly, caught it, and named the bird Pokemon Monkey. Before continuing my journey, I took the time to level up Monkey so I wouldn't have to worry about being underleveled. I then proceeded throughout Jubilife City until being stopped by the man who created the Poketch. I played his game of hide and seek with the 3 promotional Poketch clowns, answered their shockingly easy questions, and got rewarded with my very own Poketch. I proceeded to travel north of Jubilife City to find nothing more than 3 weak, lousy trainers, a potion, and a dead end. I backtracked and decided to go east this time, where I ran into Barry. He wanted another battle, so I agreed. The end result remained the same, with me giving Barry depression, and we both set our sights on the Oreburgh gym. Once arriving at the Oreburgh gate, I am gifted the HM Rock Smash. I'm informed that I can't use the move until defeating the Oreburgh gym leader, so I continue through the gate, mopping the floor with the 2 trainers that stand in my way. Upon arrival in Oreburgh City, I am taken over to the city's gym and find Barry blocking the door of the gym. He calls me slow and then tells me the gym leader has gone off to the coal mines. It appears I have to go looking for him, so I bother Nurse Joy again and set forth to the coal mines. Before traveling to the coal mines, I checked out some of the buildings and talked to everyone in Oreburgh City. After talking to the people of Oreburgh City, I made my way to the mines. I collected a dire hit and a yellow shard just outside the entrance to the mine, then made my way inside. Nothing very interesting happened in the mine. I collected some items, obliterated all the trainers with bubbles, and then I finally found Rourke, the gym leader. He demonstrated Rock Smash, then ran back to the gym. On my way out of the mines, I made sure to endanger the Geodude and Onix species so I could level up before my gym battle. I made my way out, healed up, and headed into Oreburgh Gym. Bubbles had no issues taking out the first Challenger's Geodude in a hurry, as well as quickly ending the final Challenger's Geodude and Onix. To my surprise, Piplup evolved into Prinplup and learned the move Metal Claw right before the gym battle against Rourke. I approached Rourke and began my first gym battle. My newly evolved Prinplup and I had no issues taking out Rourke's Geodude, Onix, and Cranidos. Before I knew it, I had achieved my first gym badge in the Sinnoh region, the Coal Badge. I head straight to the Pokemon Center and heal up before setting my sights on the next gym battle. My next stop is the Eterna City Gym, and it is located north of Oreburgh City. The problem was that if you didn't have a bicycle, you can't go straight to the city, so I was forced to backtrack to Jubilife. On my way out of Oreburgh, Barry runs into me to let me know he is off to get his second gym badge. He forgets what number comes after 9, then dashes off. Upon arriving back in Jubilife City, we run into Mr. Looker, who tells us to go get an item in the basement of the local Poke Center. So I pick up the item and move on. On my way to the dead end from before, we find some weirdos who go by Team Galactic who are bullying the professor. Me and Lucas decide to bully them. Then this happens. Team Galactic retreats, and I continue on my path. I teach Bubbles Rock Smash and proceed past the dead end. Nothing much happens next except for a few trainer battles as well as a double battle against 2 Pachirisu who like to bully Monkey. Before Eterna City, I stroll into Floaroma Town. I pick some berries off a tree and find a child who tells me to go rescue her father. I learn that Team Galactic are the ones causing trouble, and they refuse to let me into Eterna Forest. Enraged, I waste no time defeating the other Team Galactic grunt at Valley Windworks, and he retreats inside, locking me out. I head to find the key to the place, and find more Team Galactic grunts in Floaroma Meadow. I defeat the 2 underwhelming grunts, and receive the key to the Windworks. I sprint back to the building and invite myself in. I make my way through the Windworks using the Team Galactic grunts for level grinding, and make my way over to one of the 4 Team Galactic commanders, Mars. She tells me why Team Galactic is causing so many issues throughout Sinnoh, and that is to create a brand new world. Sounds kinda over the top. Then she gets mad that I wasn't listening to her rant, and challenged me to a battle. Her Zubat and Perugly were nothing special, and they were beaten into submission rather quickly. After winning, Team Galactic leaves, the little girl's reunited with her father, and I am finally able to continue on the path to Eterna City. Right before Eterna Forest is Route 205, in which there is nothing special other than a select few trainer battles that I use for overleveling. I made quick work of this dude, this dude, this dude, this dude, this chick, this dudette, and last but not least, this girl, and stumbled into a house where this stranger lady allowed me to spend the night. After a great rest, I finally made my way into Eterna Forest, where I was introduced to Cheryl, who was too scared to go through the forest, so I decided to take her with me. With Cheryl by my side, we proceeded through Eterna Forest. The 2 of us were forced into a few double battles within the forest, however we battled hard and made it out without an issue. At the exit of Eterna Forest, Cheryl thanked me and headed out. Before entering the city, I was forced to battle a stupid amount of Goldeen and Magikarp. That is okay considering I wanted Monkey to level up a little bit more before the gym battle. Upon arriving in Eterna City, I noticed a Team Galactic grunt just chilling by the Pokemon Center. I used Intimidate and moved on. I wasted no time and went straight to the gym. Gardenia, the gym leader, was outside waiting for me and told me I'd have to defeat the gym trainers first before battling her. The gym challengers were all very easy considering I had an overlevel Staravia. A few battles and a skip up the clock later, I finally got the chance to take on Gardenia. The battle was extremely easy as Monkey just spammed the move Wing Attack and took out Gardenia's Turtwig, Cherim, and Roserade with ease. In no time at all, I was given the Forest Badge and already began planning for my next challenge, the Hearthome City gym leader, Fantina. On my way out of Eterna City, I run into Barry, and he wanted to show me the famous Eterna City Pokemon statue. After a quick walk, we arrived at the statue to find the same guy from Lake Verity. He was speaking to the statue just like he was at the lake. His name is Cyrus, and he makes his exit. Barry leaves and I began to follow him when I began to hear boss music. Strange. The two of us exchange names and I learn that she's also a trainer. Strange. Cynthia gives us the HM Cut. With this, I am forced to find myself another Pokemon who I can load up with Cut and other HM moves. So I found everyone's favorite HM slave, Bidoof. I gave it a fitting name and went back to the Team Galactic Eterna building. Before entering, I was reminded by a sign that Team Galactic is terrible at keeping secrets, and I taught Bidoof Cut. Upon entry, I find Mr. Looker in a Team Galactic disguise. Making my way through the building was fairly easy. I took out all the Team Galactic grunts and made my way to the top of the building. I meet another one of the 4 Team Galactic commanders, Jupiter, and got challenged to a battle. To my surprise, the battle did not go as planned due to Jupiter's Skuntank having pretty good defense. I managed to take it out, and Jupiter, as well as the rest of Team Galactic, retreated. Following my success, I decided to grab a bicycle from the Eterna City bike store when I was stopped by none other than the trainer, Cynthia, from before. She gave me a Pokemon egg, I receive a bike, and I begin my way to Hearthome City. The road to the city was pretty easy. I used the trainers to catch up bubbles on levels, and before I knew it, I was at the cave that leads into Hearthome City. Before entering, Lucas says hi and gives me the Versus Seeker. Once inside, I find Cyrus, who is still talking about his dream of having a brand new world, blah blah blah, and I exit the cave to find myself at the doorstep of Hearthome City. Knowing that I'd have to take on Fantina's Ghost-type Pokemon, I decided to pick up the Eevee in Hearthome City and evolve it into an Umbreon. The process was extremely long, and I grinded steps for a few hours to get maximum friendship and evolve Eevee into Umbreon. In this process, Togepi hatched and eventually evolved. I messed up, however. In the process of everything, I forgot Bite could only be learned by Eevee, and by the time I had evolved it, it was too late. I resorted to going and finding the move Thief in Eterna City and found out Umbreon couldn't learn it. Umbreon doesn't learn any Dark-type moves until much later, so in defeat, I taught Thief to Monkey and moved on. I made my way to the gym when I was told Fantina, the gym leader, was out at the contest hall. I ran over in a hurry to find none other than my mother, who recommended that I give contests a try. With the length of this video in mind, I passed on the opportunity. I found Fantina, and she told me she'd be waiting for me in the gym. The gym's maze was no issue. I just had to defeat a few trainers and memorize some shapes. Before I knew it, I had made my way to Fantina. I spent way too much time on this gym battle. Considering the best chance I had was to yet again rely on Monkey, I was forced to stick with him the whole time. Or so I thought. Although Monkey was able to take out Duskull fairly easily, he was left with the burn status effect. I was forced to swap out to limit the amount of damage taken considering the lack of heals I brought into the fight. Bad Timing was able to get the upper hand on Haunter with the move Yawn, and Umbreon slowed down Miss Magius with Sand Attack enough for Monkey to take her out. The battle may have been tough, but I fought hard and pushed through, earning myself the Relic Badge. On my way out of Hearthome City, I stumbled across Barry, who was begging me for a battle. Like usual, I swept him very quickly, and I moved on to Route 209, which is the route directly before Solaceon Town. I used all the trainers to level up my Pokemon, and ran into Barry once again at the steps of Solaceon Town. He told me to go check out the local ruins, and I decided to do exactly that. After healing up, I went straight for the Solaceon ruins. There were a few trainer battles throughout the journey, but they didn't put up much of a fight. I eventually made my way to the bottom of the ruins where I found the move Defog and a few other items. I escaped the ruins and backtracked to an area I couldn't enter from before. Now that I have defog, I quickly made my way up the tower to find nothing more than 2 old ladies along with the few items they gave me. This video is beginning to get really long, and I've still got a lot of game to cover, so I skipped most of the route to Velistone City. However, I did decide to catch a new team member, Ponyta, and I leveled up using the many trainers who locked eyes with me. Once arriving at Velistone City, I ignored a couple of Team Galactic grunts, I'll deal with them later, and I went straight to the gym. Lucas was there, and so was the Pastoria gym leader, Crasher Wake. The two of them make their exit as I prepare for my next gym battle against Maylene. Once inside, I found none other than an actual real gym. You know, like ones with punching bags and rings? Anyway, after punching many bags and taking on some pretty annoying trainers who just love their Machoke, yeah, I'm looking at you, Colby. I made my way to the gym leader, Maylene. Monkey has carried me throughout most of this journey, and he does it again here, making quick work of Maylene's Meditite. However, Monkey fell after being hit with a rock tomb that crit. Bubbles came in and got revenge on Machoke, and all that was left was Lucario. Bad Timing came in with a clutch yawn and put Lucario to sleep. In a sacrificial position, Bad Timing dies while reviving Monkey, and I finished off the sleeping Lucario with only a couple of moves. After my victory, Maylene awarded me with my 4th gym badge, the Cobble Badge. My celebration was cut short as Lucas was panicking outside the gym. Those Team Galactic grunts from before stole his Pokedex, and I made sure to get it back. Lucas and I beat up on the grunts, and they retreated. Mr. Looker made a sudden appearance, and I finally got the opportunity to teach Monkey Fly. Mr. Looker told me to head to Pastoria City to figure out the plans of Team Galactic, so that's exactly where I set my sights. The journey there consisted of tons and tons of battles, but that is okay because Ponyboy needed to level up and bad. By the time I got to a small town just before Route 213, Ponyboy had caught up to the other Pokemon in my party. Route 213 was once again pretty simple, just a ton of battles and leveling up. Before I knew it, I had passed the gate and entered Pastoria City, home of the gym leader, Crasher Wake. On my way to the gym, I was stopped by Barry, who this time didn't run directly into me. He didn't even give me a choice to battle this time, and we jumped right in. I need to talk about this battle because it showed a bit of a difficulty spike. Barry's Staravia, Buizel, Ponyta, and Grottle were all a higher level than just about everyone in my party. This dude actually got good. He put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, his Buizel was beaten by Monkey, Bubbles made quick work of his Ponyta, Grottle put up a great fight but fell to Ponyboy and Monkey, and finally Umbreon defeated Barry's Staravia. I admit, I lost a couple of Pokemon during this fight, and now Barry genuinely has my respect. Before I take on this gym, I'm going to level up my Pokemon so they are ready for Crasher Wake. After some training and getting most of my Pokemon to level 32 and 33, I entered the gym. I used Bad Timing for most of the trainer battles and got him some extra experience. Throughout the process of battling the many trainers, Monkey evolved into Staraptor, and I had decided who was going to carry me through the gym battle. It's always Monkey. He learned close combat too. I approached Crasher Wake, and we began the battle. I knew this was going to be a tough battle, but I was still confident in starting the battle with Bad Timing. Wake sent out Gyarados, who was a higher level. I put Gyarados to sleep with Yawn, brought Monkey in to deal some damage, and then I got hit with this. Umbreon came in and finished Gyarados. Wake then brought out his ace Floatzel, who was a level 37 and scary. Umbreon did some good damage, but Monkey was the one who got the last hit in. He brought in Quagsire, who originally seemed like no issue until he put Monkey to sleep and ruined a quick KO. Long story short, Monkey finished the battle and I acquired the Fen badge. On my way out, we find out Team Galactic is causing terrorism, so Wake, Barry, and I set off to save the day. All of us arrive at the suspected location when a loud noise occurred. A Team Galactic member rushed out and I was told to go follow him. After a nice game of tag, Mr. Looker found us and got jealous, so he joined in on the game and became it. Once I finally caught up to the Team Galactic member, I showed him what strength and power looked like, and he ran off. Cynthia arrived and asked us to take care of an issue involving Psyduck on Route 210. I was able to subside the headaches of all the Psyduck, and Cynthia gave us a mission to deliver an old charm to her grandmother, who is the elder of Celestic Town. After battling countless amounts of trainers and proving who is supreme, I finally find myself in Celestic Town. An old lady who is near the town's entrance explains that there's a Team Galactic member blocking the local ruins, and it is now my job to fix the issue. Without any issues at all, I made quick work of the Team Galactic grunt and returned the charm to Cynthia's grandmother. I went inside to check out the ruins when Cyrus entered looking to cause trouble. I chose to defend the ruins and battled Cyrus, the Team Galactic leader himself. The battle was simple. His Sneasel, Golbat, and Murkrow were nothing special, and before I knew it, I had won and Cyrus had left. Cynthia met up with me, thanking me for protecting the ruins and delivering the charm. She recommended I head over to Canalave City for my next gym battle. Monkey flew me to Jubilife, where I quickly made my way west of the city. After a quick swim with Bubbles, I found myself entering Canalave City. On my way to the gym, I once again ran into Barry, and he forced me into a battle. Although I was underleveled, it was not as bad as the last battle, so I managed to defeat Barry with only a few casualties. I seriously need to get some levels before the gym, and Barry recommended that I go to Iron Island to train. I got on a boat and headed to Iron Island, where I began to take on trainer after trainer in hopes of leveling up. After only a few battles, Bubbles evolved into Empoleon. Near the end, I ran into a few Team Galactic grunts, so I made sure to bully them into submission. After feeling confident with the levels of my Pokemon, I headed back to Canalave City to claim my next gym badge. Byron the gym leader uses Steel-type Pokemon, so I knew I had a few options in Ponyboy and Bubbles. After a quick game of shoots and ladders as well as a ton of trainer battles, I stood eye to eye with the gym leader Byron. This battle went really smooth. Ponyboy got a lucky crit on Magneton and Steelix followed, except somehow survived with hardly any HP left and massacred my boy. Bubbles stepped in and defeated Steelix. All that was left was Byron's Bastiodon, which Bubbles knocked out pretty fast and without issues. I had collected the Mind Badge and realized just how close I am to getting all 8 gym badges. Barry met me at the door asking me to follow him to the library, but first... Once at the library, I made my way up to the top floor to find the whole gang, Barry, Lucas, and Professor Rowan. We had a nice meeting about evolution when... The professor assigned the 3 of us a lake to visit, and I wasted no time in hopping on Monkey's back and flying to Lake Valor. The water was completely gone, the Magikarp were all dying, and Team Galactic had discovered the legendary lake Pokemon. While battling the Team Galactic grunts, Ponyboy hit puberty and I entered the cave to find Team Galactic Commander Saturn. I beat him like I beat the others and made my way straight to Lake Verity. Once arriving, Professor Rowan and Lucas were doing their best in protecting the lake. Commander Mars was there, and in anger, I made my battle record against her 2-0. After my victory, Lucas, the professor, and I found out all 3 of the legendary Pokemon have been captured, and now I need to go and check up on Barry at Lake Acuity. To get there, I had to go through Mount Coronet, which was pretty easy. Once I found the exit, I had to trek through the snow-covered Route 216. A ton of trainer battles later, and I actually end up running into the Velistone gym leader Maylene. She's headed to Snowpoint City to help train the gym leader there, Candace. Once I arrive at the Acuity lakefront, Barry greets me to let me know he is headed off to find Team Galactic. I step foot into Snowpoint City to prepare for my 7th gym battle. Following a session of level training, I was ready to take on the Snowpoint City gym. Upon entry, I realized I must have the brain of a 4-year-old because I spent way too much time trying to figure out how to break those stupid mammoth-sized snowballs. Once it clicked, I finally walked up the steps to begin my 7th gym battle against Candace. This was the first time a gym leader had 4 Pokemon, however that didn't stop me from taking out her Sneasel, Piloswine, and Abomasnow all in one hit. Candace sent out her ace Frostlass, who used Double Team until Ponyboy realized it was time to get a new prescription. After missing every move and eventually falling to Mother Nature, Bubbles finished the job. After collecting the Icicle badge, I am only 1 badge away from having all 8. Before heading up to Lake Acuity, I need a Pokemon other than Bubbles who can learn Rock Climb. I decided to catch a Gibble in Wayward Cave, and I named it Pikachu. Once acquiring Pikachu, I made my way up to Lake Acuity. I found Barry and Team Galactic Commander Jupiter there sharing words. On her way out, she mentions that she is headed back to Velistone headquarters. After speaking to Barry, I waste no time and head to Team Galactic headquarters. Upon my arrival, Mr. Looker finds me and we decide to go in together to find out what is truly going on. Looker opens up a door in the warehouse and both of us go off to find any answers that we can find. After many battles, Pikachu evolved and I run into Looker who is listening in on a speech from the boss himself, Cyrus. He and a select few are going to Mount Coronet to continue their mission and I know I have to go and stop them at all costs. On my way out of Team Galactic headquarters, I stumbled upon Cyrus, who challenged me to a battle. I won, and he told me that he's headed off to reveal the Sinnoh legendary Pokemon to create his brand new world. A room over, I found Commander Saturn, who was guarding the 3 lake Pokemon. I defeated Saturn in battle and freed the 3 legendary lake Pokemon. After freeing Uxie, Azelf, and Mesprit, I made my way right over to Mount Coronet. I began to make my way through when Mr. Looker stopped me to tell me good luck on the mission ahead. I continued on my quest through Mount Coronet when I finally arrived where Team Galactic was creating their new world. Mars and Jupiter greeted me, and just before I battled both commanders separately, Barry stepped in to make it a 2-on-2 battle. We mopped the floor with them and watched as Dialga and Palkia made their entrance. After the appearance of Dialga and Palkia, another Pokemon by the name of Giratina opened up a portal to the Distortion World. I jumped in after Cyrus, and so did Cynthia. The two of us traveled through the Distortion World, completing its maze. Right before meeting Giratina, Cyrus makes his last stand in battle. This fight was much harder than I expected it to be. I was extremely underleveled, and I was almost certain I'd be losing the battle. To my surprise, I powered through and defeated Cyrus, and made my way straight over to Giratina. As I approached the legendary Pokemon, I was thrown into battle. Like everyone who plays this game, I did what was necessary. Following the catch, Cynthia and I retreat back to the real world. I am then told to head back to the professor's lab to explain what all has happened. Upon my arrival at the lab, Professor Rowan as well as Lucas thanked me for everything I have done for Sinnoh. Professor Rowan explains that I should head to the Sunyshore gym in order to attempt to complete the gym challenge. Before heading to Sunyshore, I wanted to level up Pikachu, who was still new to the team. Considering that Volkner, the gym leader, uses electric type moves, I decided to teach Pikachu Dig. After a ton of leveling up and getting Pikachu to a somewhat okay level, I make my way to Sunyshore City. At the gate, Flint from the Elite Four tells us to challenge Volkner and unleash his inner spark. I meet Volkner at the top of the light tower. He tells me to head to the gym and challenge him as he won't be going easy. I had a lot of fun in this gym, mainly because I could continue to level up Pikachu. I fought every single trainer in this gym, including Poke Kid Megan, who decided to have a war of Pikachu in which my Pikachu won. It wasn't long until I stood eye to eye with the final gym leader, Volkner. He began the battle with Jolteon, who fell rather fast after a few digs. Luxray followed and had a counter to my plans. He used Ice Fang and knocked out Pikachu in one hit. After using Ponyboy as a meat shield and healing up Pikachu, Luxray fell to another dig. To my surprise, Volkner decided to use his ace Electivire next. Due to my type advantage, all he could use was Quick Attack, so he was no problem whatsoever. Raichu was the last Pokemon for Volkner, who stood no chance to Pikachu, and I achieved my well-deserved 8th gym badge, the Beacon Badge. On my way out of Sunyshore, Barry finds me to tell me that he realizes he's weaker than me, then runs off. This girl here decides to give me the move Waterfall so that I can get to the Pokemon League. I stepped foot onto Route 223 and began battling trainer after trainer, leveling everybody up. Eventually, I ended up finding a shiny stone in my bag, and I used it immediately on bad timing. I also got curious and found out that Cynthia's Pokemon max out at level 62. Knowing that, I've got a lot of training to do before going anywhere near Victory Road in the Elite Four. After a few sessions of level grinding, I managed to evolve Pikachu into Garchomp, and I got all my Pokemon around level 50. I decided to go and begin my journey into Victory Road because I got very tired of level grinding. I fought most, if not all, the trainers, and found myself at the doorsteps of the Pokemon League. Upon entry, I went to heal my Pokemon considering there has been a lot of battles since their last rest. And Barry made sure he had the advantage on our next battle and prevented me from getting healed back up. The battle was tough considering I was low on PP on most moves and my Pokemon already had taken damage. I still beat him and immediately went to heal. I decided to spend all of my earnings on heals for the hell that I am about to go through. I walked up and checked into the league. I qualified with all 8 badges and approached my first Elite Four opponent, Aaron. Aaron led off with his Yanmega, and I began with Monkey. Yanmega fell rather quickly after Monkey connected with a single fly. Next up was Drapion. He put up a little bit more of a fight, but Monkey eliminated Drapion from the battle. Next up was Vespiquen, who was in and out after being knocked out in one hit. Aaron sent out Heracross, and before he could even blink an eye, he was also knocked out by Monkey. Scizor was Aaron's final Pokemon, and after a small back and forth battle, Monkey flew up and secured the win. Following my first victory, I healed up and prepared for the next challenge. Next up was Bertha. She led off with her Whiscash, and I chose to start with Monkey once again. All it took was a few hits of Fly, and Whiscash was out for the count. Golem was next, and I decided that this was a good time to bring in Bubbles. One Surf later, and Golem was no more. Hippowdon followed, and I chose to leave Bubbles in the battle. Bubbles was put to sleep, but somehow survived a deadly earthquake and woke up to finish the job. Gliscor was Bertha's next choice, and I subbed Bubbles out for Pikachu, who could be used as a meat shield to heal up Bubbles. As I planned, Bubbles survived a brutal hit and made quick work of Gliscor. Bertha's final Pokemon was Rhyperior, who put up a great fight. She knocked out a few of my Pokemon before I decided to have Bubbles finish the job with Surf. Following another healing process, I made my way to the third Elite Four member, Flint. Flint led off with Houndoom, and Bubbles was my lead-off. One use of Surf eliminated Houndoom from the battle, and Flint sent out his loyal Infernape next. After it used Earthquake and not quite taking out Bubbles, Infernape was taken out by Surf. Magmortar was next in line, and I made the decision to sub out Bubbles for Pikachu. Pikachu was almost successful and eliminated Magmortar in one hit, but it survived. One more use of Dig did the trick, and Flint's next choice was Rapidash. I left Pikachu in and used Dig again to quickly take out Rapidash. Flareon was Flint's last Pokemon, but like his Magmortar and Rapidash, Flareon stood no chance to Pikachu's Dig. I won the battle and realized I was getting closer and closer to the champion. After healing up, I found myself in front of the final Elite Four member Lucian. Lucian starts the battle with his Mr. Mime, and knowing I will be up against many Psychic types, I lead off with Umbreon. Mr. Mime used Reflect and was quickly subbed out for Espeon. The Battle of the Evolutions didn't last long after Umbreon used Payback and quickly eliminated Espeon. Gallade was next, and I brought in Bubbles. I soon realized Drain Punch was way too strong and Bubbles fainted. Monkey was sent in next to use Fly and take out Gallade in a single hit. Mr. Mime was sent out once again, but didn't last long against Umbreon. Alakazam was sent out next. Umbreon put up a great fight, but lost in the speed category and couldn't get his move in first. Pikachu made sure to finish the job. Bronzong was Lucian's final chance to win the battle. It took out Pikachu as well as bad timing before I brought out Umbreon to get the win. The Elite Four was now in my past, and the only thing left ahead of me is the champion. I ran into the room the champion was in and slowly approached her. My final challenge in Sinnoh was right in front of me. All I have to do is defeat Cynthia and her extremely dangerous team of Pokemon. Spiritomb was who she sent out first. I decided it was smart to send out Bubbles. Spiritomb didn't have weaknesses, so the best thing I could do was chip away damage with a few powerful attacks. After a few moves, as well as a full restore by Cynthia, I was able to eliminate her first Pokemon. To my surprise, Cynthia chose to send out her Garchomp. In all honesty, I didn't have a great strategy for Cynthia's Garchomp. I brought in Pikachu in hopes for a critical hit, and I'll admit, I got lucky. 2 down and 4 to go, with Milotic being Cynthia's next choice. I subbed Pikachu out for bad timing. I knew the disadvantage I was in by bringing in bad timing, but all I wanted to do was hit Yaunt and survive one turn. I did exactly that and subbed out for Pikachu. Pikachu did tons of damage during Milotic's nap, but couldn't get the last hit in. Monkey proceeded to eliminate Milotic with Fly. Togekiss was next, and I decided to leave Monkey in to deal some damage before his inevitable defeat. I sent Umbreon out next to use Confuse Ray, then I brought in bad timing to take out Togekiss. Cynthia decided to be difficult though by using a full restore, and bad timing actually died. I sent out Pikachu, who was able to eventually eliminate Togekiss. Tons of my Pokemon were out for the count, and with Lucario next, I knew I had to sacrifice Pikachu to heal up Monkey. My plan worked, and a single use of Close Combat took out Cynthia's Lucario. Cynthia was left with only Roserade, who was at an extreme disadvantage against Monkey. With a single use of Aerial Ace, Roserade fainted, and I had defeated the now former Pokemon champion, Cynthia. Cynthia took me to the machine that would put me into the Hall of Fame, and the professor went with us. Before I knew it, Bubbles, Ponyboy, Bad Timing, Umbreon, Garchomp, Monkey, and I were put into the history books as the new Sinnoh champion. And just like that, my journey has come to a close.